We are live, people. I thought we was live. We just talking. And I was like, why we not live? Welcome to Chatter Up. Today we're going to recap Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 9, Episode 4, which is titled Staring into Scandal. Based off that title, you think it was appropriate?
Yeah.
Assuming that the scandal is Maurice and this DUI, but it's always interesting watching episodes like this because we know the outcome of that case. It's kind of like that year we watched Potomac when Ashley was saying that she was trying to get pregnant, but she was drinking, and Candace was on her about it.
She was.
And we all knew at that point that Ashley was pregnant. So it just made everything that she said about it. She's not really trying to get pregnant. Everybody in the background saying, but she is.
But she is.
So that's what we're watching, for Melanie to go so strong on this issue, which is an extremely offensive situation. I'm not even offensive. It's a life or death situation.
Before we get there, let's do a quick chat stick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I don't think we'll have. I don't know if we want to talk about it during it, but it's just about Martell.
Okay, go ahead.
He has his RP case on December 5th.
What's RP?
Revenge porn.
Oh, okay.
And he was charged earlier in the year, and he wanted to, what do you call it?
He appealed the judgment. The judgment was he was supposed to get a year's probation, and
he appealed in that case.
I think he had to go to an anger management or something.
He has to go to the psych ward.
Yeah, and he appealed it.
And that appeal case is set for December 5th.
Okay.
So that's coming up. But then recently, I don't know if you've seen the court papers going around that he violated his parole or his divorce information that says he's not supposed to contact Melody. Have you seen that? So Melody has had to go and file so they could amend that request to
think that he could not contact her because something. Oh, you're talking about from this case. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. But he's not.
You said divorce case. No,
well, this about case is what's going on. But the only way they are supposed to meet is based on what's set up in the divorce case. So it's two different things. Okay. And so they've had to amend it a little bit because Martell, I guess, is still reaching out to Melody about the divorce, or he's trying to go through other avenues to get to Melody.
One of the custody case judgments that Melanie said she was going to appeal was that that request was unreasonable, specifically not being able to contact her and vice versa. That was one of the things specifically I remember.
But she won that.
She won the appeal?
Yeah, she won that. So she won that. So allegedly he has been reaching out to her. From what I'm reading, she had to file a request at 2 a.m. in the morning a few days ago because he keeps trying to reach out to her and talk about something other than the divorce as if that's okay, as I understand it. And so the judge is like, that's not okay. So do we really need to add, it's not just about the divorce, but you're not supposed to be reaching out to her at all. So I don't know where the 2 a.m. came from, other than that's when they said she had to make the amendment. I don't know what happened, if they called her at that time or not. But it's kind of interesting that he would violate that and look for a loophole on why he was able to do it, as if that wasn't going to get him in trouble. I thought that's a little scary to me. That if you have this divorce paperwork that says you can only reach out to me about the key. Wait a minute. There was something else about the DA.
Maybe she called her at 2 a.m. and that's her reason for saying that wasn't about kids at 2 a.m.
So she met with the DA outside of their scheduled time. for something. And Martell called Melody afterwards and demanded to know why she is meeting with the DA. I mean, like, who does he think he is? What is up with that?
I'm sure
you need to tell me why you're here
paranoid.
with the DA. What
He's
are you
probably
doing there?
paranoid at this point.
Yeah, it's scary though. It's like,
I mean, it's kind of scary if you're sitting up on charges. He shouldn't have done it though, but I'm sure he's paranoid about it.
I don't think he is. I don't know, because I'm like, well, why would you keep doing it if you're paranoid about it? I just think that I hope she still has security and stuff. And not that I'm saying I think he would do anything crazy, but I just think it needs to be more support around when she says she has reason to feel not always safe. I think people should take that a little bit more serious. Anyway, the chapstick moment was simply to say he violated his parole, his whatever. And that's it.
I'm wondering, is he on parole? Because if that's the case, he would be off parole because this happened in like February.
Mm-hmm.
And when you appeal it, are you still on parole?
Yeah. Or what? Yes. Why wouldn't you be? You appeal it, but that appeal now has to go to
the court. His parole would be over.
Well, he hasn't gone to court yet.
Yes, he has. He appealed that case.
He's scheduled to go into it on December 5th.
I know. That's for that. There was actually a judgment. The judgment was a year's parole and whatever. He appealed that.
He appealed that. Yes, right. He did.
And that's why, are you still on parole then?
And that appeal case is December 5th.
Oh, God. So, again, between the February when they made the judgment and right now, is he on parole?
I don't know.
Because that's the question. Because if it seems stupid because it takes almost a whole year, he would be off parole, but before the judgment would even go through. But if he's on parole, that, in other words, that court case would only be valid if he's on parole. Because you're right, they did have a no contact order with that.
Mm-hmm. They did.
They had a no contact order. And that's, I don't know how you can not contact the person who has your children and they have them 50-50, literally 50% of the time.
What do you mean you don't know how? He couldn't. It depends on his actions. I don't know the details. So I hate to talk about something that's sensitive if I don't know what's going on. But if something has happened and you're not always coming across as the safest, most intelligent guy, telling what you can do, you may not always need to know where I'm at, even though if the kids are with me and it's my time for them to be with me, what else do you need? I don't
know. I hear you. That seems ridiculous to me.
Yeah, it's a little scary. But anyway, that was it. Let's get to the show. Did you like the show?
This was a tea episode from beginning to end. I was texting y'all while I was watching. It was full of tea. Yeah. I was shocked at the whole conversation that Martell was sitting down having with
Destiny.
That was like, something has really happened between Marceau and Martell. You couldn't tell it with Martell initially, but you could tell it with Marceau because it's almost like I always thought that the reason Marceau was on Martell's side a little after like second, third, fourth season was because Martell knows things that they all have been involved with. And Martell keeps up roll call until you push him into a corner. And I think that Marceau is pushing him in a corner because I knew that they knew a lot when I think that was the second reunion when Maurice came out there and was like,
Maurice said, with me.
Just stop. Right. He was, because I'm like, Martell start talking. And even Marceau was like, you on your own. He was saying it to Tricia. Like, and you have to wonder, boy, Martell really has some stuff on him for him to be doing that in public with his own wife. Right.
Yeah, well, but what has changed really? What would have changed and all of a sudden make them be going harder at one another? Now, after the girls' trip, when all the guys were in the grass talking, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when Martell called Tricia ugly, which I thought was pretty bold. I thought, okay, I thought Marsaw was a little bit out of pocket the way
Yeah,
that he was going at Martell about
yeah,
Trish right in front of Ken.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
he
the
was
craziest
trying to
thing
push
ever.
an issue that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
an issue. Whatever they did, they don't want to tell nobody on camera.
Yeah, they don't want to tell anybody, but yet every time we've heard about Marcel and Martel getting into it, they always come back together. This feels a little different.
Well, it seems like Marceau is, like I said, he's picking at
Hey,
Martell,
yeah, he is.
and it feels like it has the potential to be really ugly.
It does. So what, I mean, what do you think? Do you think that Marcel has cheated?
I'm sure he has. I'm sure they. I mean, I'm sure that they have. I knew that at the. I'm telling you, at the reunion second season, I think it was, and Maurice got between them. They all was doing some stuff. They wasn't. You think Cold Star was lying when she said when they was in Atlanta that they was with where we first time we heard big backs?
Linebackers.
Yeah, that's what she called them, linebackers.
I don't know about anything Coleslaw said. And speaking of Coleslaw, are they married? What's going on with that little rumor?
I've heard that. But I'm like, people would love the marriage certificates are open to the public.
Yeah, so somebody would have found that.
If
But
somebody would have been found there.
yeah, yeah,
That's why I said I believe that when that happens.
yeah, yeah.
So I doubt that seriously.
So you want to talk about Destiny and Martell on the bench while we're here talking about Martell?
Say that again.
Do you want to talk about them on the bench?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So after the episode, just seeing a lot of comments out there that they thought Destiny was wrong for going at Marsal for not backing him up and saying that he wasn't cheating. When Martell said, he cheats like a mofo, and
So
she just kind of opened her eyes real big
she
and
did.
didn't
She
say
did.
yeah, she was like, oh, and didn't say a word. Do you
Yeah.
feel like she was in the wrong considering that she's friends with Tisha?
No, that
I
wasn't
don't
her
either.
place. That was Martell's narrative, and it was
Mhm.
almost best to say nothing.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Don't
That's
say
exactly
anything.
what I would have done. I would have been
Yes.
thinking a mile a minute in my head. Like, shut that F up. Shut that. I would be telling myself that over and over and over. At
Yes.
some point, tuning him out, trying to not say nothing. Because if this person is your real friend, I'm not in the middle of this. You ain't going to place me in the middle of this.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a little creepy though, and so now it sounds like they've fallen out. Marsal has fallen out with Destiny as well as Martell. So it sounds like they're looking at Destiny as his mouthpiece in some way.
No,
He's
I
always
think that,
somebody's mouthpiece.
I think that they've known each other since they was teenagers. That's what I think.
But you don't think they've had any connection
No,
romantically?
I really do. I mean, it's a straight hood situation because that's what their parents were. Her daddy and his mama used to go together.
I heard that.
And for years. And you considered that girl your sister. Yeah, I have to remember that Destiny was raised by her daddy. So she stayed with her daddy. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a situation where she was just there every weekend. So she saw a lot of Martell. I don't believe that. Those are your sisters for life. You don't. If I in hood situations, we ain't like that. It's just that's not even behavior of black people. We just don't behave like that.
How
Yeah,
about Angela said, "Yep, they were kissing cousins."
that's gross. That ain't
I
nothing.
don't think that they were
Hood.
either.
That ain't indicative of that kind of behavior.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they've done anything either. But I definitely understand. I think we talk about this every time we do the show too.
Hold on. Let me also say this too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Kissing cousins, as gross as that is, them be them
Mm-hmm.
cousins that you see every other summer because your mama done sent you down south. Them ain't cousins that you see every other weekend. they were too close of a relation. This wasn't no, I ain't never seen my daddy married your mama and we ain't never met each other. And then all of a sudden we meet the second summer in. That's not how we do things. That ain't even indicative of like our behavior. It just ain't. In hood situation, it just ain't. But anyway, that's how I feel. I don't know. What y'all think about that conversation Nell had with Melanie? Because this my husband was so irritated.
Wait, I was cracking up. First of all, Nell did not really get her point across at all. She didn't. So whatever she said, she wanted to talk about her time on the trip and her not getting. Okay, you're done. Melody kind of cut her off and went right to you don't come over here. And I heard your interview and I don't like it. I'm glad Melody called her out on it, but I think that Nell thought it was going to go a totally different way. She ended up being the one to do all of the apologizing. Do you remember that? Do you think she was wrong for the things that she said in the interview?
What did she say that she had a problem with?
She said Melody is just as stubborn as Martell. Melody don't like to listen. Melody don't this. Melody
she kind of proved it in this episode.
How?
She first of all, one of the things that irritates me about Melanie, you are only her friend, like some Donald Trump stuff. Like if you got pure loyalty, I could be your really good friend, Callie, and I could say that you're stubborn as a horse. That's a real thing. That's just a part of your personality. It don't make you a bad person, or that I'm not good to you and you're not good to me. But if you're my friend, I should be able to say you stubborn as a horse.
No, you shouldn't, Joy.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because it's not like you and her were sitting there in your own little kitchen or at your favorite, whatever, having a conversation. She's with a blogger. She's with a blogger talking about how selfish Melody is in this. And if we were friends, I wouldn't have that conversation with the blogger, especially knowing that it's being recorded. It's going to be all over YouTube. And I think Melody had every right to be
I do think you should curve what you say, but I don't think stubborn is an unfair way to describe Melanie. I just don't.
Whether it was fair or not fair, there are certain conversations you don't have about your friend that's going to turn what should be said into a different direction. I mean, my friend wouldn't tell the world I'm selfish, especially to a stranger. Anyway, I guess it's not a really big deal, but it is a big deal because you were sitting bad mouthing me to a stranger.
Well, I hear you saying that you're a stranger. In true form, that may be correct. But this is also a person that's watching us through a lens. This isn't a person that's going into this conversation with her blindly. Although she may not know all the details, because reality TV don't never show us everything. We know that.
Yeah.
But what we do, that blogger wasn't a stranger to the situation. I don't think it's unfair to call her stubborn. That's not, I would have said she a bald head wank. That's offensive.
Please, Joyce, spare me the indignation.
I would get that.
Spare me the indignation with athleisure shoot. Okay.
Not athleisure.
I mean, it just seems like
y'all know I don't like Melody. I can't stand her.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I just feel like you gotta have complete loyalty. It's just like y'all hung up on the word semantics of mentor versus counsel. Like, how can we not say?
I will agree with that, Joy.
That's just stupid to me. Like, because doggone well, they sought out them. That's something. I mean,
you guys, I think. Listen, first of all, Miss PhD, okay, the knower of all things. I mean, can we just come on now?
At the end of the day, Nell helped them, and for Melody to sit there and laugh in her face like that.
Counsel and mentor is really not the same thing. I mean,
I agree.
Counsel and mentor is not the same thing.
I agree.
It really isn't. So what does Nell mean? That maybe Nell just didn't understand the difference.
She meant counsel, but she said, because she even said it later in the in the confessional. She should have used the word counsel versus
mentor.
Because
it makes a big difference.
It wasn't about business. It was personal.
Right.
But I think you can also have a mentor in a personal situation, though.
I agree.
Was she Letitia's mentor also?
Mm-hmm.
Was she Letitia's mentor also? So I think she should probably.
I think she was different. I don't know what she was doing for Tricia, to be honest.
Nothing, according to Tricia. So it's kind of the same situation. But because of what happened with Tricia, that makes me think, I just don't think that Nell is focusing on the difference of the two.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're right. Because Tricia was offended because she said, "You're my mentor."
Yes.
mentee or something.
Yes.
And she was like, "I thought we was working on a friendship." So you're right. You're right.
But I do also feel like, of course, the Black Brooke Logan, because that's what Mel act like, a black version of Brooke Logan. Mel is very condescending, and Nell is not her child ultimately. And also, let's just be realistic here. The Martell and her drama is so draining, especially when it blows up at group trips like last season.
She did say that in the interview, by the way.
You know, could Nell have worded the situation better? Absolutely. But I don't like how she backpedaled for Mel, because all of what she said is true concerning Mel. And that still doesn't make Mel, I mean, I don't like Mel, but it don't just necessarily make her a bad person. But we, the viewers, are tired of them in their drama. So I know the castmates got to be tired.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you guys believe it?
Mel just don't like her friends to hold her accountable for anything.
Nothing.
She feels if her friends check her wrongdoings, that they not her friend, and that ain't how that work. That's not how that work, baby doll. And that's why you can't keep no friend. That's why she fall out with every friend that come on the show.
Shouldn't that be how it works? I mean, people just use the word friend, just throw it around like it's really nothing important. Shouldn't it be how it works? There are certain things you're not going to say about your friend to other people. I will always believe that. And if somebody's not able to be that loyal, then we really, why are we wasting our time?
I don't like loyal. Reality TV has ruined that for me. I have never had a friend based off loyalty. It's that word that really, really bothers me.
I feel like if y'all, okay, I'm sorry.
I could use a term like, "Oh, this my girl." I ain't never heard of nothing I said come back at me that she done told. She don't tell my business. That's just that person's personality. I could never use the word loyalty in friendship. It feels so lopsided. It feels lopsided.
And I'm totally opposite. I don't think I could not use the word loyalty when I think somebody's my friend. That's a part of it. And people are pretty reckless with it, if you ask me. So. Yeah.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aries. Melody's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
And will sting you big time too if you cross her when it comes to that loyalty. So I have to agree with that. I mean, stop. Anyway.
Okay, so probably the big scene next that they were talking about was Melanie was sitting with that one girl from Baseball Wives, Shachina.
It's Shanita.
Okay.
Wait a minute, say it again. Tashina, what'd you say?
I don't know what her name is. But she was talking with her, and she was talking about Maurice. She was talking pretty strong. Against Maurice.
She was. And I know we talked a little bit about that on the Beverly Hills call because of PK and his drunk driving. Mm-hmm. And what I said then is, if somebody is really your friend, and Maurice, I don't believe they are friends, but if somebody was really your friend, do you turn your back on them if they made that type of mistake and they did drink and drive? And, do you turn all the way away from them? And same thing with Wendy Osefo and Karen. She says, there's some parts of this that could make her turn away from Karen if Karen did something wrong. Well, of course she did something wrong. She was drinking and driving. So if your friend is not that either of these people are alcoholics, because I don't know that. But if your friend is an alcoholic, and that's why she keep making these same stupid mistakes behind the wheel of a car, do you no longer stick to that friend because they're an alcoholic?
I don't think you abandon your friend.
Okay.
I don't. In my mind, you don't.
Yeah.
Like you have a friend, you might not like their behavior, and all of us got a relative right now that we know that's gonna be over to our house tomorrow, who gonna come home, that's gonna be drunk in the middle of dinner, and we know we didn't, that person couldn't drive here. Somebody went to go pick them up. They nephew, they cousin, somebody went to go pick her up because they know she a danger when she start drinking.
Who we talking
All of
about?
us, I'm just saying,
In
all
general,
of us have a relative
Oh,
like that we're
yeah.
thinking about it. You protect
because
those
Maurice was
people until
driving.
they ready to get help, because they ain't gonna stop drinking.
First of all, let me just say this. Kimmi definitely looked like she wanted to say something so bad. I feel like she has never made him look like a fool publicly before, because he
Mhm.
Oh,
does that all on his own, and she cleans up the mess to protect his little image.
um,
Like
okay.
her confessional was definitely given. She didn't call him cheating before.
I don't get that. Now, I don't get that. I mean, but she was rather quiet when they were talking about it. However, I kind of expected it to be no other way with Kimmi. She talks about only what she wants to be talked about. So she probably had one heck of a conversation with Maurice, of course, before the cameras were there. And Maurice probably knew that once the cameras are on, that she wasn't going to talk about certain things. So she was kind of covering her husband. And Joy, you like a coverer.
I do.
Yeah.
I
So
respect women that do that.
yeah. It did look like she wanted to say some things at a couple different times, but I don't think she would do that. Is that bad for her on a
No,
reality show like this? Okay.
No.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And I don't get that she's caught him cheating. I think that Kim thinks that all of the cheating was before they were married. I think she absolutely believes all of that. Everything that Martell might have in his pocket, I think she'll absolutely believe that. But I think that once you have made a commitment and we get married, we didn't got married, you better curve that dude.
So I haven't seen where this is coming from, but before I logged into this call, they were saying that Carlos calls Kimmi out about her allowing Maurice to stay out until all hours of the morning. Um, and she said, when she didn't hear back from him the night that he was drinking and driving, she went out to look for him, which I thought was very interesting. She went out to look, where you at? You ain't at the office, you ain't at the club, where you at? So I wonder, in her mind, are you thinking that he's cheating on you? So she
And
said that when
you know that
when
it
he
goes.
finally called her, she said she felt a lot better, and not a good situation, but at least she knew that he wasn't over Shaniqua's house or something. I don't know. What were you gonna say, Joy?
If you go back and like second season, there was this whole rumor that on where Maurice's office was, that there
Yes.
was some, I don't know if it was an apartment or whatever. They said that this was where they hung out, and this is where
Yeah.
all the dirt was done, and this is allegedly where one of their friends got caught with that underage girl.
Okay.
This whole thing about this apartment that they argued about
Mm-hmm.
at reunion, I always thought was about over that
Over
over
at Credit One or
Maurice's
whatever.
business, and it's something that's on the top of that business. I always assumed it was an apartment.
I don't know.
I always assumed it was an apartment because they be talking in codes. If sometimes when they would have conversations, I be cracking up. He's like, I remember that. Remember we was reading and such and such and such and such, because they put so much of their business online. And if you read these groups casually or just really into them, and I used to be really into them, you
Mm-hmm.
knew their business while they was on the show. I always thought that apartment was something, had something to do with on top of his business. because it was a lot going on that was associated with Maurice and some property.
Kimmi was in that building as well, though, right?
At some point. But she was a nurse initially. So she wasn't there during the day. She would be fronting and popping in. But when she was a full-time nurse, and she was a full-time nurse up until maybe about 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, what we do know now, which is good, is that case has since been dismissed.
Correct. And that's weird because drunk driving cases aren't dismissed.
First time?
I'm not going to say no, period.
But maybe that's why it was dismissed, is what I'm thinking. Maybe because it was his first time.
No.
I
don't think this was no. Even your first charge, if you were really drunk and driving, still is on your record. There's never a case where it's thrown out. It's just a mark. It's kind of like if you have an accident. It don't matter if you had an accident, it wasn't your fault. It just shows up. Because even if you...
Then what was there to dismiss?
It had to be something either didn't go right or they didn't test him.
Now, wait a minute. I don't mean to... Never mind. I'll wait.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was finna jump ahead. I was finna say, can we talk about...
don't jump ahead. Hold on to that.
Okay.
Yeah, with a DUI, something happens even the first time. You can't have a DUI dismissed, is what I'm saying.
But he did.
So something had to go wrong in his favor.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Either he wasn't, because sometimes they can test you. You could refuse the test or something, or they don't test you for whatever reason. I don't know what the situation is, because wasn't he asleep or something?
I don't remember hearing he was asleep. I just heard he was with another woman when he got busted.
Not that. I did not hear. What?
I heard that when it first happened. Of course, I have nobody put any names out there, so it's probably a lie. But yeah, that's what they said.
And I heard that he was asleep.
Maybe they were asleep.
He was in a car asleep.
When the cops pulled up, you heard that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I've not heard that.
Yeah, he was in a car asleep. And I was like, the car had to be running for him, right? To get a DUI.
So you're saying
I have to go back
he was asleep with the car running?
I don't know. That's the only way that they could charge him with drunk driving, right?
I don't know.
He had to at least have the car on. I don't know why. Let me see. Y'all keep going. Now, what did you want to talk about, Maurice?
You mean D? D.
Demisio.
He's probably at work still. Is he still at work?
But yeah, what you think about Ken and Tricia or Tick? What's her name?
Trish.
Yeah, talking about her ex-husband.
So when she said, and God, I don't know why this kind of stuff bothers me so much, but when she said, "Yeah, we had to give him gas to come down here," come on now, did we need to know that?
Humiliating.
Did we need to know that?
Oh.
And for me, I mean, I don't know much about him, but for me, there is something going on with him that is a little slower than, a few turtles. So if any of that, I just feel like they're saying that something like that to him could maybe send him over I thought it was wrong. I thought it was very demeaning. And then Ken, who adds to it by saying, "Yeah, we pay for everything," and he thanked me for coming. I'm sick of them, although I do like Ken.
It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So when it was 12:04, he got picked up. See, this is what it doesn't say pulled over. Maurice got picked up by the police at 12:04 for driving under the influence.
So wait a minute though. So he was out all the night before and didn't get out of. He was in. So 12 o'clock the next day, and he never made it home yet.
See, that's why I heard that he was drunk. Is that he fell asleep in a car somewhere?
I would love to know what was going through Kimmi's mind at night. Oh, I didn't hear. So wait a minute. So he went to a party that started, let's say, at 10 o'clock the night before. He didn't get home till 12 o'clock the next day? That kind of irritates me. I know that's not really the point of this, but really? Where'd you hear? Are you reading that?
I guess. Yeah, I was reading this.
Okay. Well, hopefully they can move on because it's been dismissed and now he can just focus on the other case that he is in with the blogger. Have you been following that?
Is that the one he started?
Yes, that's the one he started. Then they countered and added the OWN network to it and everything. And OWN network is trying to say, we don't tell them what to do. We ain't got nothing to do with this. So they're trying to get out of it. And there was a lot of talk that Maurice didn't seem to know what he was doing in court. He didn't bring all of his papers when he needed them. He is his own attorney. And he just never really even said things at certain times. He didn't want to answer questions and everything like that. So the word is that he's been having a really horrible time in court. And when I hear that, I'm thinking, is he really sitting there quiet and playing stupid, or is he being smart? Because he's not going to say anything until he can hear what everybody else is saying to turn everything around. I would love to know what is really going on inside that courtroom, because he's getting, I mean, they're talking about that man badly, talking about how stupid he is and how is he a lawyer and all that. And I just cannot believe that. I just can't believe that.
Oh, okay. So I will say this. In this article, it says on June 10th, Maurice's attorney entered a non-guilty plea. The judge on the case accepted the plea. His attorney also filed a motion to dismiss all charges against Maurice.
Yes, they have been dismissed.
Listen, the claims for dismissal are on claims that the charging instrument, I don't know what that was, violates Maurice's right to due process and is too vague to stage a defense. And he won this case, and it was scheduled.
Yeah, he did win.
He won that case.
What instrument? Like, what do you think that is?
And it's in quotation. Charging instrument violates Maurice's right to due process, and is too vague to stage a defense.
Interesting.
Yeah. Right. He skated away with that one, didn't he?
Whatever it was, he got out of it.
And so they're going to be talking about that on the show as well. Some more, I would imagine, or maybe this was.
I'm pretty sure.
See it. It'd be nice if we
No,
don't.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring it up. Somebody's gonna bring it up. Marques can't help himself.
They brought it up this time, but I don't know. Do we need for them to keep bringing it up? I hope not. I think that's a bad look.
Did they find out that he was the person in the charge of the YouTuber? Because remember the case that Maurice with the YouTuber has something to do with some kind of crime they were accusing Maurice of.
Oh, yeah. But Maurice had said that he had never been in jail. He said the same thing on this episode Saturday as well. But what the Titanic was putting out there, the other blogger, is that Maurice Scott has been in jail. He has had dealings with the police. And then Maurice was coming back to say, I'm not the only Maurice Scott in the world. I've never dealt with the cops and blah, blah, blah. So that kind of stuff is what he was trying to get them to stop lying. And,
yeah,
he said none of that happened. So, and he.
But my thing is with Maurice, it's like, first of all, are we not going to address the other elephant in the room? Maurice's brother and wife were at a party when he left, and Kimmi said Maurice wasn't at his office. So where was he going?
And what? I don't know where he was going, Demetri. Are you on mute or your phone went out? Okay, I don't know. When Maurice said to Kimmi, "I don't think you can help me," did you pay attention when that came up?
I didn't know what she meant. What do you think she meant?
That's what I was going to ask you, because he just, "I don't think you can help me." So I don't know. That's why I was kind of wanting to know what you
Was she asking, what could she do to help him? Who said they couldn't help him?
He said that to Kimmi. He
Yeah,
said,
that's because
she offered
Maurice
her
don't
help.
he don't want to talk about whatever it is that's really going on.
And I'm thinking what he doesn't want to talk about is the case against the bloggers, because the DUIs dropped, and they maybe didn't know it then, but if
they
she can't help him with something, I really think it has more to do with the blogger. I'm not sure though. I was kind of wondering what you thought about that as well. Yeah.
So you heard he was in a car with somebody, huh?
Yeah, but I also
okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a phone call.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what I had heard, is that there was somebody else in there. I don't necessarily think it's true, because if you're able to read whatever you're looking at, Joy, that says he was picked up at noon the next day, I think if there was two people in the car, that would be there as well.
But I just find it funny that he can call Kimmi to bail him out, but she can't help him through the situation. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Hold on. Good evening. He will have to pay a fine for DUI. My daughter has to pay a fine of $6,000 and goes back to court in January 2025. So even after it's been dismissed, you still got to pay whatever your fines are, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't going to be anytime you're dealing with courts and whatnot. But yeah, that whole situation, I just have never heard of a DUI being dismissed unless somebody got wrapped up, they didn't do a breathalyzer, because that has happened, or something went wrong in the course of that.
And what did Karen try to get out of? Did they not read her rights or something?
Yeah, she tried to get hers dismissed from Potomac for saying that they didn't read her rights.
Goes back to court.
And they threw that out because they can prove that with a body cam.
Yeah. Thanks, Miss Linda. And daughter regrets it. Yeah, I bet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think we've ever talked about Maurice that much. What else is on the agenda?
Yeah, I know, right? We could talk about, what do you think when Nell and Chris were talking, when they went to that dance thing, and Nell kind of was honest about how she felt about what Melanie said. Because as she said, as she drove home and was thinking about it, I was like, we was watching it, like, girl, why you let her get away with it? Because
exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of goes back to what we already have discussed. Mentoring was the wrong word. Like, being a friend and providing support to a friend during a tough time is not mentoring. And I just feel like Mel is too old to be
playing with semantics like that. Mm-hmm.
But I do love how Nell processed the situation, though. I feel that Melody didn't take any accountability, of course, as per usual, for Brooke Logan, for what Nell said hurt her. This is my square.
Square away.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just think that
Mel lacks accountability at times, Kelly. Like, come on.
I agree with that. She definitely ain't accountable. It's annoying too.
Well, but wait.
Okay. Athleisure suit gets on my nerves.
She's not accountable for what, though? What has happened that she is responsible for?
It's not so much responsibility for. Here it is. She wouldn't. Melanie is so high up her own backside.
Oh God.
Oh God. Yes.
Tell her friend, well, maybe you weren't my mentor, but maybe you did help me. She didn't want to give Nell nothing. Like,
you got to think of the way it was said, though. I mean, You gotta just think of the way Melody said that. Melody's like, you haven't mentored me. I'm running my own companies over here. We getting stronger and stronger every day.
But
You
at the end of the day,
that.
though, like I said, at the same time, being a mentor does not only mean in business.
Okay, but it does mean in business to Melody. So that would be why she reacted the way that she did.
But at the end of the day, Melody, no, that's not what the definition of mentoring is, period. It's not just about business. I have people that I consider a mentor, and it has nothing to do with work at all.
It has. What does it have to do with it?
You could be a mentor to somebody that's younger than you, and you do manly things with them.
Yeah. Well, one thing we are very clear
that's what they're called, mentors.
One thing we're very clear about, according to Melody and whoever else, is that Nell is the oldest in the group, and so that is not the issue. Mm-hmm. Do y'all think it was shady when she brought up the age thing again?
Absolutely, and there was ages. It's hell.
And wait a minute, with that said, isn't Kimmi and Nell the same age?
I think they are. I think Kimmi might be older than Nell.
So then why is it that the age always comes up about Nell, but never Kimmi? Nobody's ever questioned her age. It's just because she looks just kind of youthful and
yes.
Okay, all right. There you have it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Now, Mel denied the mentoring, but when Nell said counseling, Mel said, excuse me, y'all. Mel said counseling, yeah. So I personally took that as her agreeing that it was counseling and not mentoring. And although many people can see that term as interchangeable, the real question at hand is, why is Nell so hung up on calling it mentoring or counseling versus a friendship if she thought of them as friends in the first place? But either way, I do actually see why Nell would be a bit hurt by Mel laughing in the last scene, because I do believe that they have been calling it mentoring and counseling when the Fletchers first came on.
Callie brought up, she thinks that Nell think they're the same thing. Because remember the argument last season with Tricia and Nell, and she was saying, I thought we was working on a friendship, and Nell said, I thought I was mentoring you. So she
doesn't know what it means.
Interchange. You're correct when you say in her mind, this is really a situation where it's just they're getting lost in the in the language.
Absolutely.
Because to her it's the same thing, because I had forgotten about that.
But at the same time, what she said to her husband, Nell should have said all of that to Melody.
She should have.
But Melody took over the conversation, and that's why I was like, I kind of expected Nell to be a little bit stronger than that. Maybe Nell kind of held back because she was in Melody's house, as opposed, instead of a more mutual place.
I think she was thrown off a little bit too.
She was thrown off big time and got to apologize. I'm like, Nell. Yeah, I thought that was something.
She was thrown off. She wasn't expecting that. I know she was like, where did this come from? I thought we was going to talk about this trip.
And so she ended up feeling bad. I don't even know what to call that, but Melody turned that around real quick. Oh, no, I'm mad at you, and here's why. But Nell let that fall. And so I was a little surprised about that, but okay. Yeah.
That's good. But go ahead.
Does Chris wear a man hair?
Wear what?
A man hair.
I don't know. If he do, it look good. It blend in well.
Curly and the wet and wavy. I was just wondering.
What made you ask that? It looked like it too. Are you heard?
No, it doesn't. But no, there was something else with a man wig recently this week, and I don't remember why. And it looked so real and pretty curled. It made me think of Chris. I'm like, is that? No, but I think his is real. It's not a wig. I just was wondering. Mm-hmm.
The last little section here is Melanie preparing for her event. She's having some kind of giveaway for 7th
Avenue Beauty.
Oh, yeah, that's the name of it.
He said 7th Heaven.
Yeah, I don't know what made me say that. I knew 7th. It was 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
And I guess she got like lunch or something that she getting away. Where she's to find these people at? I don't like stage events like this. They make me itch.
She put on a heck of an event, though. That's one thing we do know. She does. Don't you agree? What's her name, Joy? Let me hear if you say it right.
Melody. That's her name. I don't know what Melody.
So,
Melody.
let me ask about Destiny too. Some things that have been coming up. Do you guys think Destiny is really thirsty for friendship with Melody?
I think she was hopeful in that one episode. It was very clear that she was hoping that they could smooth things over. But Melanie let her know real quick, nah, we ain't good. So then now she going, I ain't gonna say she going for blood, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't necessarily agree, but whatever your trust barriers are, if you feel like people go outside of them, you have every right to end a friendship. And it just is what it is.
I agree.
I wish that she would have straight up told her to her face why she said get your daughter off the streets or whatever it was to Melanie mama. I wish she would have just been
she said quit pimping out your daughter.
Yeah, take a jab for a jab. I feel like if you had held, at the time I was angry, but I felt like she should have been holding you accountable. And if she could have said that in a real way. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like Destiny. I didn't like her before. Is I'm so sick of people getting on reality TV and not really being honest with what's real. She's one of those girls. You can keep it real when you're not in that person's face, but you can measure somebody's emotional intelligence by how whether or not they could share their real feelings.
Yeah.
And she just not Melanie. Melanie don't either, but what's her name? Just don't. She just does.
But Joey, at the same time, though, Melody does have to be realistic when it does come to Destiny, because at the end of the day, Destiny was Martell's friend, not necessarily hers. They eventually became friends, but she would have never even met Destiny if it was not for Martell. But overall, though, when it comes to the whole Destiny versus Mel situation as a whole, they're both wrong.
They're both wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. They both are wrong in this situation. Neither one of them are right.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Because at the end of the day, Destiny feels the way she feels, Mel feels the way she feels. It's a lot of miscommunication between the two of them to really begin with. And even with the whole Sunny thing, it's just like Mel is just doing that to be a vindictive bitch. So and then it's just
We
like
don't want
the
to tell
stuff.
her the B word.
Oh, okay, a vindictive heifer, and then at the same time, Destiny ain't all the way right either.
Yeah.
She was kind of playing both sides, if you really want to be honest, between the two of them, instead of just sticking solely by Martell like she was supposed to do in the beginning. Anyways,
Yeah.
in my opinion, if
I
that
don't
makes
necessarily
sense.
think she was playing both sides. I just think she was trying to walk a tightrope. Like you can
Yeah,
be somebody like,
I can see that.
yeah, if you can. Martell is my boy, but girl, we got girl code over here, and until that's broken, we good. And I feel like Destiny feel like their initial issues started off something very minor and blew
Yeah,
it into something that she could not control or even understand.
Minor?
Their initial issues came because Destiny just said, I wish that you would be a part of my village because I'm out here
yeah,
by myself. Like literally, that was the conversation. It was at one of Melanie's party. It was at the finale. It was a very minor conversation.
Wait, have y'all discussed Ken and them yet? No.
Just for a couple seconds. So what would you want to say about that?
Okay, I must have missed it because I'm popping in and out. I'm
Yeah,
watching
that's okay.
one of my other shows and kind of coming in and out.
Mhm.
I think it was highly disrespectful of the baby daddy and or the soon to be husband, ex-husband, to come and thank them
Oh,
when
I did
they
say that.
paid for everything and also paid for you to get there. So how dare you come up to him as if he did you a disservice, not a disservice, but as he did you a favor when they the ones that did you the favor. Like make it make sense here. And let's be also clear too. What's the girl name? The wife, Latricia, Tisha. What is it? Two
mhm.
Tricia,
Tishas?
yeah, something.
Yeah, Latricia. She don't want to marry that man. She don't want to marry him. She looked like she want to tell him, "Don't get on that knee. Don't get on that knee, baby. Please don't get on that
Sign
knee."
them papers though.
But yeah, I still don't think she want him to get down on that knee though. I really.
I don't necessarily get that. I don't necessarily. You're not the first person that I've heard say that, but I
Yeah.
don't necessarily get it. I don't see
Yeah.
because I see Ken as the person that's making money. Because I don't be more believe she got a job than a man inside of a moon.
Joy. You say you don't think what Joy say that phrase again? I'm gonna have to
She
use
don't
that
have
one.
a job. I don't
No,
think
what
she
you say
got.
after
Inside
that
of the
moon
moon.
I don't
phrase?
believe that the man inside of the moon. I don't. I don't think she.
I'm gonna use that one, Joy.
Yeah,
Do
and I
you want to
always say
see them?
inside, not on. Inside. Because I've heard some people that I've said that enough times for people to say, on the moon, there is somebody on the moon. I said inside, not on. But
Well,
yeah.
he went off on Marsaw, the little
And you know what?
marketing.
That's good because Martell is sick of they shit, and I'm sick of Maurice. So any damn ways, I don't like that man. Okay,
How do you not like Marsaw?
I
I
like him.
cannot stand
I
him. I think
like
he is
him.
a messy hoe.
But I don't like how he doing Martell this season. I don't like.
Marcel, because Marcel just messy. He's another Peter. He's always in the women's business.
This
Ugh.
ain't the women's business though.
No,
He
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's my overall reason why I really just don't like him. And he loves to fight with Melody. It's just like, dude, it's giving you want Melody. Like, go on somewhere with this Apollo. Gosh, like
He's lost.
he lives to fight with the girls, and I don't understand why. Like,
He's made some shifts in that to me though. This year, I mean, he actually season 8, I guess. He actually said to Tisha, "I'm kind of supporting Melody on this. I mean, we can't make Wanda stop talking. So talking about all the fans they say are causing
y'all, I'm over
that.
here smoking and I'm dying. And y'all just talking.
That's because you are talking about Marsat and it's illegal. What are you choking on? Joy,
Weed,
give him behind
weed.
maneuver.
okay. All right, put yourself on mute. You smoking some what they call it back, some ganja.
Y'all so funny. I swear.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I didn't forget what I was saying. Was I even talking? I don't know.
That is, you were saying about not being able to control Wanda.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, Marsau kind of admitted for once. I agree with Melody. I mean, she made a good point. So he's trying to turn some things around. He even said on one show that he doesn't want people in business to see him in a bad light. So he was going to start doing things differently. And, so he jokes a lot and all that. But in the end, it seems like he knows which side is the right side. Everything else is comedy to him. I like him. And I love him and Mel together. She makes him so happy.
girl, y'all need to cut that. Y'all goofy to that narrative.
She
I never
does.
did. Yes, that's goofy to me.
She does.
She don't, but okay.
Yeah. Well, she makes him. Well, okay. Let's stop. All
Yeah.
right. What else we miss?
That was actually it on that episode. But it was an interesting episode. It moves the story along. I hope that you think they gonna show any of this fight that Marceau and Martell supposed to get into?
I don't think so. I mean, well, I don't think they did show Kiki throw the water, so maybe they'll show a little bit of it. But at the reunion, um, they said that somebody brought Melody to tear. They had Melody crying at the reunion.
Oh, they've already filmed it. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, they're done with that. And I don't mean, I think it was Kimmi or I don't know, but somebody had her crying at the said they came at her pretty hard this season. She's gotten a whole lot of negative feedback for not being accountable for things. Do you agree with any of that based on what you've seen last season and these latest episodes?
I can't even remember what happened last season. It was so it was so forgettable. What happened last season?
I didn't forgot.
Yeah, I can't remember one thing that happened last season because I remember thinking I wasn't gonna watch this season.
Yeah.
The show is definitely in a decline.
You
And
think it's in a decline, really?
oh, definitely.
It's still the number one show on OWN, though.
Okay.
It is the number one show. Oprah Winfrey or the Oprah Winfrey Network threw an event for them recently, and Carlos was there with.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting because of the lawsuit that's going on, and that is Maurice and OWN, and now he has them at this event for their show.
It might
to be a butterfly on the wall.
It might stream well.
Yeah.
You know, we know that the live numbers aren't that great, but they might stream.
Yeah.
They might stream well. I can see that. I mean, they said that over 1 million people stream a Housewives episode on average. So whatever you traditionally see as when they release those numbers and it'd be like 0.7, usually a whole million will stream.
Wow. Do you want anybody to not come back next season?
On Huntsville?
Yes.
Only people that are weird to me are these add-ons. Trish and Ken, I don't even know why they're there. They did lose Stormy.
We know why Trish and Ken are there. I think it's shady, but I think it's because of the possible situation with Martell. I think whoever conjured them up thought, wait, she used to talk to Martell. How many years ago? Wasn't he married? Does anybody know? I think that has a lot to do with why they brought them on.
Because I've been trying to figure out how did they even get a second interview.
Yeah, I think it has everything to do with Martell, which is another reason why I loved it on the girls' trip. When Nell kind of paid her dust. Okay, well, nobody care about your little story. Let's go out and have fun on the last day. She seemed so unfazed.
So he was running from them. Trish was running. So she ain't
what
brought
you mean? What do you mean she was running?
Trish left that next morning.
What, with Stormy?
No, she left. She wasn't supposed to leave with Stormy. Trish left to get out of that house.
Well, I thought she intentionally left with Stormy because Stormy is the one she's kind of friends with. The question is, are they still friends? Because Stormy was a little upset that the girl said very strongly, no, I've never been to Markel's house. And then, right there at the table, well, yeah, I was lying. And so Stormy was not exactly pleased with that, yet they did still leave together. I just wonder if they're still friends. And do you think she's going to come to the reunion, Stormy?
I heard she did.
Did you?
I heard she did. Well, and I thought Carlos said that.
I don't remember him. I haven't heard that, but no telling.
Said that I know, and I don't know if this was in an interview or him speaking or whatever. He was saying something like was basically telling why Stormy left.
Oh yeah, okay. I saw that. Yeah, he was saying Stormy left because of the fans that were not because of millimeters. I'm so over that. But okay. Yeah. All right, I think that's it. I'm trying to see if there was anything else. Are we missing anything?
I think that's it on this episode. That is it. That is it. Now I can go make my bread for tomorrow.
Okay.
Finna make all my bread, and I'm finna base this turkey. Not base. I guess that would be base. My little turkey legs. I don't think it's called base. What is it called when you put the butter and all this stuff on around it?
Putting the butter and all the stuff around it. I don't know.
Is that considered the base? I guess it is. Mm-hmm. I'm
I'm
finna
not the
cook all
cook.
this stuff tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah, I would know. My cook is in there in her room. She's a teenager that cooks better than I ever could think of. And
Gosh.
I don't mind. Yeah.
I'm finna have raw turkey tomorrow.
No, we're not going to be here. We're going out. But yeah.
Okay.
Everybody, thanks for joining us tonight, and have a safe.
Oh, marinate. Yeah, marinate. That's what I'm finna do. Yeah,
okay.
I don't even make a whole turkey. I just do turkey legs and turkey wings. Because I go somewhere, but my family want to have something at home. So I just make the turkey tail. I mean turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey
I
legs.
ordered turkey legs and didn't get them in my delivery, actually. Now that okay.
Oh, you can't deliver it this late. You had
it was already scheduled. Well, but it still showed available.
Oh.
But I didn't get it. And I didn't think about it until just now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will talk to you after the holidays. Have a good holiday. And everybody out there, have a good holiday, y'all.
Have a good holiday. Peace out.
Bye-bye. How do you get out of this thing?